fans and friends in paying tribute to the singer Freddie Mercury, who died late last night from AIDS.
Today, friends and fans have been paying their last respects.
He's gone now, but we're going to have to accept that.
Also known as the King of Queen, Freddie Mercury's death on November 24, 1991 signified the end of an era in the music industry. However, his soul continues to live on through his music today. His Queen performances are still remembered today for their spectacular stage acts as he sang. He was considered to have one of the best vocal ranges in the world. Numerous rumors circulated regarding the cause of his death, the most well-known being that it was AIDS. It was also suggested that it could have been murder, but nobody knows what happened to him. How could his death have been prevented? Watch this video through the end to learn more about the life, passing, and ongoing influence of this legendary artist. The Man Behind the Legend, a short biography. Freddie Mercury was introduced to a variety of musical influences at a young age, which aided him in fulfilling his ambition to become a musician. His family and childhood, which had a mix of Eastern and Western cultures with music in the background, are part of his cultural legacy. The family belonged to Parsi descent. Farrokh Busara was born on September 5, 1946, in what is presently known as Zanzibar, but then it was still part of Tanzania. Tanzania has Zanzibar as one place. Together with their diverse backgrounds, they would eventually develop into Queen's later fusion-style music. It was not only his taste in music, but also his flamboyant, theatrical persona, which drew from many cultural references. Early musical endeavors. As a teenager, Freddie Mercury's passion for music was that he pursued and forayed into the hectics. At the same time, his graphic design studies at Ealing College of Art in London introduced him to the fine arts, despite other courses he took along with them. His college years never saw him wavering in his resolve to become an excellent singer and stage performer. His time at Ealing College also aided in the development of his artistic abilities, which later served as the foundation for a distinctive visual style associated with Queen's album covers and their on-stage performances that are still in use today. The formation of Queen. Freddie Mercury had always been focused on following his passion for music. As a teenager, he joined the Hectics and took an art course at Ealing College of Art in London as his initial approach to fine arts. Even after enrolling in more classes apart from that, he was firm on getting expertise as a singer and a performer all through his college years. Attending Ealing College enabled him to grow artistically, which later became the basis of what is still recognized as the classic visual aesthetic associated with Queen's album covers and live performances. Rise to stardom. One of the reasons why Freddie Mercury was considered one of the greatest rock singers in history is because some of Queen's singles, such as Bohemian Rhapsody and We Will Rock You, boosted his popularity. It took no time for Queen to become famous.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. We will rock you.
Through his larger-than-life persona, he became a household name across the globe due to his powerful stage presence and fearless voice range. Every live show by Queen was a once-in-a-lifetime unforgettable experience that nobody could forget after watching. This happened due to his interesting method and fascinating character. In popular culture, Freddie became an icon associated with artistic freedom as he rose to great fame. He was more than a musician, hence beyond music itself. Now, what's your favorite Queen song? Do share with us in the comment section below. The Day the Music Died, Freddie's final moments. Towards the end of the 1980s, people started saying that Freddie was not feeling very well, and some wanted to know what exactly was wrong with him. His fans and friends could see that he was getting thinner, and his performances were no longer as good as they used to be. This made them think that he was unwell, even though he acted like there was nothing wrong with him at all. When it became known that he had tested HIV positive in 1991, the revelation shook the world of music. It factually revealed that AIDS' peak time had come while also changing perception about AIDS generally. But unlike all these problems, Freddie never gave up. Instead, a great deal of focus went into his last works, which sought to compose something memorable or unforgettable, but worthy of being called an era for many generations. Public announcements. On November 24, 1991, Freddie Mercury died at the age of just 45.
Freddie Mercury, the flamboyant frontman of the veteran British band Queen, died Sunday in his West London mansion.
This led his fans from all over the world to express their sadness in a deluge.
Freddie will be missed terribly by his fans and his friends alike. He brought into the private lives of his friends, who knew him as being a very witty and generous individual.
Consequently, the other members of Queen issued a press release announcing that Freddie had passed on. They commended him for having exceptional talents as well as for contributing significantly to the overall success of the team. The passing of one of the music industry's most cherished legends left fans and colleagues perplexed. Hearing the news in the music industry was like an earthquake. Many tributes have been performed worldwide since he passed away. To memorialize his life, several artists decided to perform deep emotional songs about him. Others organized some charity events, and others simply showed their appreciation through creativity.
Just kill a man, put a gun against his head, pull my trigger, now he's dead. Mama.
Controversial speculations. Following this, there was controversy surrounding Freddie's passing, with claims of murder and various causes, including AIDS-related complications. Even though Freddie had publicly admitted to being HIV positive in the last months of his life, concerns remained about the leading events to his death, which gave vent to speculations as well as conspiracy theories. Although the official cause of his death stated that he died from bronchial pneumonia due to AIDS, it remains a subject of discussion among fans and scholars due to unresolved doubts. His last days were full of mysteries that deepened the enigma around him all the more, which made people call him with such mythology-like attributes, legacy, and impact. Freddie's death is still a mystery. However, we remember his music and the many lives he touched with his talent and charisma. His influence continues to be felt in terms of sold-out stadium concerts and chart-topping hits, touching both old and new fans alike, and even inspiring generations of musicians who have followed him in his footsteps. He has an indelible impact on world music because of his brave individuality and unending commitment to his art. Hence, many artists can embrace their uniqueness and express themselves honestly. Freddie's songs challenge societal norms and cross cultural boundaries, affirming the power of music to bind us in the common experiences of joy, love, and solidarity. Now, this reminds us that as long as people exist in this world, it will always be true that Freddie Mercury is a champion for the human soul and hope for tomorrow. Could his life have been saved? Since Freddie's death, a lot of improvements have been made in the treatment of HIV and AIDS, making one wonder whether his life could have been prolonged if he had access to modern medical therapies. The development of antiretroviral drugs and improvements in healthcare protocols have seen many people living with AIDS and HIV living longer and healthier lives than ever before, thus raising question on these developments and how it might have impacted Freddie's prognosis. Now, of course, it is impossible to know if Freddie would have survived had he been diagnosed and treated today. Still, it is evident that the landscape of HIV and AIDS treatment has changed significantly since the 1980s, giving hope to millions affected by the disease, raising awareness. In memory of Freddie, attempts to create consciousness around HIV and AIDS and counteract the societal marginalization that exists have become more vigorous so that future generations can continue where HIV and AIDS has reached in the fight against it. From fundraising concerts to public health campaigns, Freddie's legacy remains a battle cry for those fighting against HIV and AIDS as an example of global mobilization for action. We will be able to remember Freddie as well as create a better world free from this killer disease if we help people learn how HIV and AIDS can be prevented and treated. Join the movement. Now, before we get going, make sure you hit the subscribe button and join our community of music lovers. By subscribing today, you will always be ahead when we upload new questions and other fascinating stories about music across many continents. Therefore, let us together keep Freddie's contributions alive even in the future, honoring Freddie's memory the special place. The death of Freddie Mercury has led to fanatics coming from all corners of the globe to visit his memorial place, which has transformed it into a shrine for Queen supporters and music enthusiasts. The site is situated in Montreux, Switzerland, with a bronze statue of him overlooking Lake Geneva. It is a strong reminder that his name would always ring loudly all around the globe throughout his music career. In memory of Freddie, individuals gather and recall how he touched millions and what he will be remembered for. From love notes to spontaneous singing sessions and musical performances, this place provides comfort and encouragement to fans regardless of their age, thus uniting them in their love for Freddie's music and essence. Drawing parallels, the resemblance to another legend. Freddie Mercury's life and death exhibit some similarities with other music legends that give an idea to the intricacies of fame and the human condition. From Elvis Presley to Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse, what is both chilling and alarming is a litany of musicians who have died at young ages, pointing to the seamy side of stardom as well as pressures that often go along with artistic brilliance. This can help us better understand the challenges that face celebrities in the spotlight while also emphasizing mental health care among musicians. Join us in the next episode as we look into another iconic musician's life and death, trying to reveal some enigmas formed by his heritage. The legacy lives on. At the end of our journey through Freddie Mercury's life and death, we are left with deep gratitude for his impact on music. From his pioneering contributions to Queen's unprecedented success, Freddie's memory still motivates and uplifts crowds across the globe, reminding us how music can break barriers and merge human beings in collective pleasure, pain, and emotions beyond. This was the story of Freddie Mercury's demise. How do you feel about his story? Do you think this is a story that goes deeper? What factors could have led him to contract AIDS? Remember to subscribe to our channel to see more tales of untimely celebrity deaths. Now, do you have a particular person in mind that you would like us to write about? If you do, leave a comment down below and we will tell you their story exclusively. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, and watch it through till the end.